What I would do to fix the current run on Amazing Spider-Man. From what I can tell, everyone fucking hates it. I think for the most part, everyone's just sick of Spider-Man having the same set of problems and basically being the exact same person over and over and over again for the last 60 years. Number one, I would move him forward. He would have some sort of family. He would get in a long-term relationship. I don't care if it's with MJ or Felicia at this point. I don't give a shit. Pick one. And from that relationship, they would go on to have a kid together. I don't even give a shit if you want to, like, not do the whole baby thing, but, like, have them get trapped in an alternate dimension and come back and, like, they've got a 5-year-old together. Who fucking cares? It's comics. Regardless, give Pete a new set of problems. We can see him trying to balance being Spider-Man while being a dad. Like, you don't have to make him give up Spider-Man. You have to make him walk back from it a little bit, I think, which brings me to my second point. There are so fucking many Spider characters. Just involve them all, okay? Like in the Amazing Spider-Man title. What I would ideally like to see is Pete have to take a back seat on being Spider-Man to, you know, being a family-first kind of guy. But he doesn't want to give up crime fighting. He wants to make sure that, like, New York is safe. So he uses the plethora of spider people to, like, make sure everything's alright. He creates his web, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and, like, communicates with all of them to make sure that New York City is safe. I get this idea from the Red Goblin storyline where Pete was supposed to have hung up the tights and not been Spider-Man anymore. Got a very, very brief taste of it, but I thought that that could work really well. Let's move Kane Parker to New York City and give this fucking character a reason to exist again. Let's fucking fix Ben Reilly. That could be a huge thing, is like the redemption of Ben Reilly and like him and Pete's reconciliation because they fucking butchered this character. If everyone's issue is that there's too many Spider-related characters, that it feels too crowded, there'd be too many Spider-Men at once, make it all work because Pete's walking away from it a little bit. Obviously, he'd still go out when the problem was big enough. He'd still fight crime when he was needed. You could see his struggle of trying to balance that and trying to be involved with his family. You could see how it kind of haunts him and how he beats himself up over, like, you know, his guilt about Uncle Ben and how he thinks it's always got to be him who's out there. Alternatively, maybe he could realize how much he loves his child and how he realizes that Ben wouldn't want him eating himself alive with guilt. There's so many stories that could be done with this that, like, it's not necessary to keep resetting Pete back to his old self. To my next point, there is a Spider-Man for teens. He doesn't need to be teen adjacent. There is a fucking teenage Spider-Man right now. Hell, if anything, give him the bi-monthly book and move Pete to once a month. Besides these characters, maybe minus Gwen, I actually don't know why she's in this picture. But, like, add the clones. Like, you could have a whole family of Spider people and, like, see their dynamics and their relationships. People compare it to the Bat family, or like with the House of L, what they're doing with DC right now. Yeah, but they do that with every fucking thing. If there's a single similarity in a story or like a character, everyone's gonna point it out anyhow. So who fucking cares? At least it's progress. I just want better for my boy. Let's get some real growth that will fucking stick.